Yes, you are. Peace and blessings. Welcome to the Royal Gypsy Hood. My name is Rafa Mama, coming to you live. Center stage here to talk a little astrology in regard to the full moon. And also to talk a little medical astrology. Talk about herbs and oils and do the tarot reading for all 12 zodiac signs. So depending on if you're catching this live, you may want to fast forward some of this information. Otherwise,
then why the heck haven't you tried Universal Yums?
Here we go. I got a commercial because I had to refresh this video. And I just had to start this video all over again because my battery died. Here we go. So let's get back on cue. And now I'm all plugged in, so the battery will not die on me again, and I will not have to start over. Okay, slowly but surely we go. All right, well, first and foremost, I do also want to share my reflections, kind of things that I've been channeling through this, reflections that I've been channeling through this season, right? So here are some bullet points for me. And let me pull up this page here where I wrote them down. To serve or suffer. Okay, this is 12th house versus 6th house, Pisces versus, Virgo access, right? Virgo is to serve and Pisces is our sufferings, right? Behind closed doors, past life karma, things of that nature. Hiding in plain sight. So we'll talk about that a little bit. The cost of your attention, okay? What is Virgo? Things that we pay attention to and the price that comes with it, right? The sound of silence is another reflection, and the volume of whispers. So, to serve or suffer. Right? A lot of 12th housers and 8th housers. We have unusual life experiences that cause us to, that are deep and transformational and cause a lot of suffering. And that has been a theme. I did not coin that, to serve or suffer. It came up multiple times within a short period of time for me. So I feel like it's definitely worthy of speaking upon, especially because I am a 12th houser and a 6th houser with my 12th, with Venus in 12th and Moon in 6th, right? In Venus in Scorpio and Moon in Taurus. To serve or suffer has definitely been a theme in my life. And I also have Chiron in Taurus as well with my Taurus moon. And it's the healer, the wounded soldier and the healer who heals himself or herself, right? And so to serve or suffer has been my life theme pretty much, right? Also being a Virgo and having Pisces in my 4th house of home of the moon, right? Home Cancer. To to serve or suffer. So they say that being of service, helping somebody else is miraculously healing for your own life, and it's so very true. It is the reason why if you've suffered with addiction, which is also ruled by the 12th house, you desire, have a passion to serve people who have also suffered in addiction. That is once you've overcome, right? And so we have this beautiful, a tear and a smile type of relationship here, and I bring that poem up often because it's very much reminiscent of my life, right? And finding the beauty, right? And finding the practicality and the purpose, in the service that we give, and oftentimes can be based on our sufferings, right? But if we focus only on the self, if we stay stuck in our minds, right, and we grovel, over our mental anguish, in our anxieties, that is when addictions can happen. That is when, we our secret undoings, right, come to the surface, because we need another way to express that energy, and the positive aspect of that is to express it through our service to humanity, right, but also our self-care, because Virgo is very much about self-care and your own mental health, emotional health, physical health, the health of your habits, right, of your daily habits that have to be balanced, also with the compassion that we share, and how we serve other people. So to serve or to suffer, that is what this axis of Virgo and Pisces is all about. So with that being said, hiding in plain sight, okay, is the next one that I thought of, like a reflection that I had, which is somewhat, again, very similarly related, because what is Virgo? The daily things. Sometimes we don't notice the details, right? Sometimes we are looking for the grand gesture, and we don't see the progress that is happening in the daily activities, right? The things that are in plain sight in front of our faces, right? And it's sometimes the value of it becomes hidden to us, right? To our own unconscious. And we seek externally, and we seek to the heavens, for our blessing, right? But those blessings, right, are hiding in plain sight, and they are before us in our daily walk, right? Even when it comes down to our breath, right, that we hardly pay attention to, that gives us life. And there's that the hidden secrets, the hidden realm of Pisces and Neptune, that is playing an effect there. Hey, I'm right here. I'm before you, standing in plain sight. I'm practical. I'm tangible. I'm, touchable. I am earth. I am manifested. And the blessings of those hidden secrets, those hidden mysteries manifested here in the earthly realm. Pisces, right? Sun in Pisces, with the Virgo full moon. Then the cost of your attention, right? The Pisces energy is dreamy, right? And when we blend that dreaminess with the practicality of Virgo, we ground it, and we bring our dreams into reality, right? There is also that's the positive, right? But on a negative aspect, our dreams can also be our nightmares, right? And so what are you manifesting here between the cost of what it pays to pay attention, or what it costs to pay attention? The things that you pay attention to in your mind is costing you your dream. It's costing you your desires. It's costing you the life that is ultimately practical for you. So pay attention, right? And that's what they say, paying, right? The cost of paying attention of what it is you're paying attention to. Are you getting stuck in little ruts? Are you getting too stuck on the details where you don't have the balance of the dream versus the routine? And so you're getting lost in the routine, or you're getting lost in the dream. You need the equal balance. And what is it that you're paying attention to? Your nightmares, or or the negative things that are happening, occurring, that seem to be popping up all around you, all the trouble fix it things, right? Virgo's the fixer. And so are you paying attention to too much of the things that we need to fix? Or are you having a healthy balance, that you're not delusional, or about what needs to be fixed, but you're not getting corrupted, or stuck, or tripped up, or lost in those things, because you still have the ultimate goal, you still have the ultimate vision, right, in sight. And we're constantly evolving and moving, and twerking things to alchemize it, from season to season. And so even though we may fall into a pattern for a season, even that, may fall out of alignment as we move along our journey. And therefore, what is it that you're paying attention to? Are you still paying attention to old things that are no longer for this season? And is that costing you? Reevaluate the dream, and reevaluate the routines that you have set in place on at least a quarterly basis. Okay. So what are you paying attention to? Is it the things that hurt your heart? Or are you having more compassion upon yourself, being gentle upon yourself, allowing Spirit to just anoint you and your mind, right? Opening that third eye, so that your thought matter, right, can produce the manifestations that we desire. The sound of silence. So this one came to mind when it comes in relation to, what it means to meditate, or this season of Lent. And the sound of silence, like, is there such a thing as silence, right? You can be quiet, but is everything everything is still vibrating and moving all around you, right? So even if you're sitting silent and you're in meditation, but you hear your stomach grumble, right? And what are the planetary associations of, that part of your intestine, or your, whatever, your stomach, that rumbled, or the food that you ate, that, caused some indigestion, or, there's sounds that are going on. It's your heart that's pumping, has a rhythm to it. So even if you're sitting in stillness, it's still going boom, 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 boom. There's no such thing as complete silence, and if we pay attention to the sounds, right, when we do sit in stillness, and when we do sit quietly, just a reflection to pay attention to the sounds that speak to us, whether it's telling us that, hey, you're not digesting properly, or, um, or your heart is arrhythmic, or if you hear a ringing in your ears, are you attuned enough to know if it's you're having some medical issue because too much of the cell phones and things like that, the frequencies that, what is it called, electrical EM whatever, is it that, or is it a spiritual attunement that you're having? Is it an ascension symptom? So it could be one or the other, or it could be both, okay? Because they're so intricately connected, the mind, the body, and the spirit, right? And so just because you have an ascension symptom, and we heard that ringing in our ears and it means something, and we're tapping into some frequency, does not mean that we're going to neglect, potentially needing to, did you know that you can carry stress in your ears? So sometimes you have tension that's surrounding your eardrums, right? And that comes even from the tension that is in the muscles that are, lining the skull. So anyhow, the sound of silence. When you sit in stillness and quiet, are you paying attention? Okay, again, the cost of the attention. Are you ignoring the signs that spirit is sending your way? Did you hear that song, the lyrics of that song that came on that speak to your consciousness or to your situation? What is the sound of silence? Is a question that I would ask of you. And how that practice, that daily practice, can tune you in, to so many things, whether it's your body, or whether it's the change of routine that needs to happen, or if it's a detail that needs to be addressed in how you serve, so yeah. The last thing is the volume of whispers. Again, Pisces would rule gentleness and that whisper, right? Virgo would rule that grounded, practical, and can be harsh communication, right? And so the opposite axis of those two things, communicating in the same type of stillness, the sound of silence. When I whispered to my baby, who would be roaring like a little Simba, before he would latch on to my breast, and he'd be upset, or if he was latched on and he was upset, about something, or he was, still throwing his little tantrum as I latched him on and he was taking time to relax, I would just whisper to him. And even though he was making this loud sound, something in him would stop and he would hear the stillness, he would hear the sound of that silence, of that shh, small whisper, and he would turn his ears up, right? So he would switch to a different sense, versus what he was feeling that was causing him to, Mercury, throat chakra, yell out loud, right? Then we're switching to Mercury, the hearing of the message, right? The receiving of the message versus the giving of the message. And even now, to this day, sometimes when I get angry, or it's easy for my voice to raise, without even noticing it, I woosah, take a breath, and I start to whisper, right? The same message that comes across in a different way, or instead of yelling, where people don't want to hear that, where you scream because you want to be heard, you know, and yet nobody wants to hear screaming. And so when you want to be heard so badly, when you want to be heard loudly, the value, right, of understanding and having that insight of the sound of silence, when you reduce the sound to a silent whisper instead of a loud scream, to get the point across, right, and to stimulate, right, somebody else's, to incite somebody else's attention, like, wait, what? Wait, what'd you say? You know, and therefore, you know, that attention was held a cost, right? A more value, had a more valuable outcome by the volume of a whisper, right? So these are the reflections that have come up to me personally in my personal growth and in my personal reflections. I hope that I didn't just rant too hardcore there. Here are some of the forks that are associated with the tuning vibrations here, are associated with Virgo, with this Virgo full moon. We have the sacral fork, aka the moon vibration, which is 210.42 hertz. Okay. So you would want to do this with both ears, and or if you just want to copy that sound with your own voice for meditation purposes. And that is for your sacral chakra, aka the moon. Okay, so this is a really good fork if you're on your menstrual period, or for fertility. Then we have the earth. This frequency is 194.71. This is the earth. So you want to make sure that you're really breathing down deep from your diaphragm. The other one up here. Let me. So again, in meditation, these are the sounds that you would want to be making in the vibrations that you're creating through your body, to help bring healing and that are in resonance with the current planetary shifts that are happening, right? To help attune you. Here's another one, is Mercury. I didn't take much of a breath for that. So that's Mercury. This is also for the throat chakra, and that is 141.27 hertz. I don't think you can really see that because I wrote it in there and it's backwards. But that is the Mercury vibration. And then here's Neptune. Hold on, I gotta tune into this one. Here. So between this earth Okay, so like take these tones and work with them, you know, pick 2 or 3 and go back and forth with them when you do your meditations and when you involve your throat. And when you get that water body moving through the vibrations that you're creating through your voice box, right? So these are healing tools for you as we transit. Those are the associations of the sound vibrations. And then we have the oils. So I'll list off a few oils. And I also have the Virgo full moon oil that I have created. You can purchase through my website, gypsyhood.me. If you would like a personal consultation, also either if you would like me to look into your medical astrology or do a spiritual consultation, natal chart reading, progress chart reading, anything of that nature, check out rafahouse.com for spiritual consultations. And then also check out, also doing EFT if you need assistance with anything of that nature. All those consultations would be under rafahouse.com. For my purchasing products from me would be gypsyhood.me. And that's where you can get my Virgo full moon oil or whatever oil, Zodiac sign is your moon oil. You could get it there. Again, it's gypsyhood.me. And here we go. Fennel is, it's one of the oils that's associated with Virgo. It is for smooth transitions, okay? Fennel is extremely good for digestion as well as ginger, which adds that extra stimulation with a vim and vigor. All right. Great oils for the stomach to not only use topically, but also for aromatherapy. They do have a physical effect even when you're just breathing it in. Controversially and against FDA approval, some people ingest the oils as well. And for me personally, I do like to mix them in gel capsules. I've never personally had any problems, but I am not endorsing it because of the legal, liabilities there. However, if I were to make a empty gel cap for myself and put some of the essential oils in it for digestion, I would use fennel and ginger. Also, cardamom is good for digestion and to digest life in general, right? It helps with clarity. Marjoram is another one that helps with connection and with the sense of wellness. Spikenard is for feminine. Christ, I would not put that in my gel cap. But that one is more of a spiritual, okay? For more spiritual help. It brings in that essence of the Christ consciousness of Pisces, right, on the opposite axis of Virgo. Helps with that balancing. And then we have grapefruit again, dealing with acidic levels, and the enzymes of the stomach. And grapefruit, can you hear the angels sing? So to me, that's just like a refreshing, right, of the gut. And then we have lime and lemon. So lime is for clarity and for joy, in terms of aromatherapy, and lemon is for brilliance. But again, dealing with the acidic levels, right, acid levels, of the digestive system. And eucalyptus to breathe deeply. Again, associating the um, that mercury energy, right? And incorporating the lungs, and how breathing deeply can also help, relieve the mind and stress that also affects the other mind, the guts, and so it's also a stimulant. And then clove we have for strength. Clove is also really good for the immune system. Clove is really good also for like any infections. And it's really good for confidence and for like adding power. Like if you were going to use it for magical purposes, it's good for protection, because it is amazing for protecting your immune system. And so anytime that I start to feel like my immune is being compromised, I like to put a drop or two of clove in my throat. Again, not FDA approved. And or anytime my throat feels a little raspy or anything like that. And it's like an anesthesia, whatever, an anesthetic. There we go, as well. And so anyhow, it always helps to stimulate, to give a little spark to my immune system. So those are the oils that are associated with the Virgo moon, or Virgo in general. And last but not least, I want to talk about the medical astrology, the medical implications behind Virgo. I would suggest that you would look at where you have Virgo in your chart. If you have any planets in Virgo, or even if you don't have planets in Virgo, what house is Virgo in your personal birth chart? Is it the 4th house? Is it the 10th house? And that will give you an indication of some of the combination of energy there that is resonating in your body, and how you are personally affected when these transits happen through Virgo, or in its opposing house of Pisces. Also pay attention to what you have in your 6th house, regardless of what sign it is. If it's in Aquarius or Gemini, pay attention to what you have in your 6th house, and that will be an indicator to you as well. If you're having any physical ailments, of what you need to address, and also how to address it. So here we go. Without further ado, this is an amazing book, Medical Astrology by Eileen Nauman. Okay, now this breaks it down all the way to, the differences of, moon in Virgo and sun in Virgo and Venus in Virgo, every single planet, right? Mercury, Pluto, Venus, if I didn't say that, they would all have different functions, although Virgo covers a spectrum, of functions. Then the breakdown comes with the planet that you have in Virgo, if that makes sense. I hope so. It breaks down very. So here we go. The muscles that are ruled by Virgo are the obliques, the transverse abdominis, and rectus. And rectus pyramidalis. Okay. Mesenteries. Okay, the veins are the portal the hepatics, the umbilical, and the intestinal veins. And here we go. Let's get down to the description. All right. Virgo's main job is to break down, analyze, and organize. These functions are especially evident in the pancreas, which Virgo rules. This gland is concerned with the proper release of pancreatic juices that will digest all kinds of food. Internal secretion from the pancreas also includes the hormones insulin and glycogen, both of which play a vital role in the carbohydrate metabolism. Without Virgo's proper, never mind. Without Virgo's proper breakdown, the utilization of these products, people can, without Virgo's proper breakdown and utilization of these two products, glycogen and carbohydrate, and insulin, right? People can become prone to diabetes or hypoglycemia, both sugar-related diseases, all right? So with that being said, the adrenal glands are very closely related. Virgo being ruled by Mercury, which also rules the mind, and also Mars, which rules the adrenal glands, which are affected by sugar as well, right? And Mars ruling the head as well, and Mercury ruling Virgo, also causing mental anguish, mental worry, which triggers stress, which triggers the adrenal glands, and there's just a whole cyclical thing, and how these planets and how these bodily functions and systems work together. Thought by many sources to be ruled by the sun, the spleen also falls under Virgo's domain. Besides producing many types of blood cells, and Mars rules the blood, the spleen splits up the prana on an etheric level, tying in the opposite axis of Pisces, or opposite on the axis of Virgo Pisces, right? Etheric level. Without proper trafficking of the vitality globules, the body would degenerate. Both Virgo and Neptune are concerned with this important function. Integrally involved with absorption, Virgo also rules the intestinal tract. The duodenum is of primary concern. It is here that food receives the proper amount of bile from the gallbladder and juices from the pancreas. Only the food is chemically broken down and distributed through the blood. Good health can be maintained. Assimilation of all nutrients as they pass through the intestines is also under Virgo's dictate. Without proper absorption, the person will become nutrition poor, and deficiencies are sure to develop. In addition, Virgo has co-rulership of the liver, along with the planet Jupiter in the sign Cancer. So again, anything Cancer related or moon in Virgo, the moon is ruled by Cancer, right? And so we incorporate that within our analysis and within our treatment. And so whereas Cancer rules the outer covering of the organ, and Jupiter rules the organ in general, the organ being what? The liver, right? Virgo is concerned with the inner workings of enzyme production. Again, Mars has its role in the enzyme production as well, where if the adrenals are fatigued, you have a low production of enzymes, right? Or a low acidic level, reducing proper digestion or slowing digestion. and which can also cause heartburn. So, furthermore, it is involved with the storage of glycogen in the liver. Since Virgo is the polar opposite of Pisces, people who have planets in Virgo are usually sensitive to drugs. They generally require only a minimum dosage of any medication for best results. So for me, as a Virgo, I definitely have a low tolerance for alcohol being one type of drug, right? But there are many types of drugs, and Pisces does rule pharmaceuticals and or addictions. So there's that little excerpt, how do you say that? That little note. There's that note. On that note, about Virgo and the medical associations. So pay attention to where is Virgo transiting currently in your chart. Where is this moon transiting? I'm just going to go ahead and light this Palo Santo real quick as I begin the full moon readings for each zodiac sign. And I'm going to take a quick swiggle of my chalice. To serve or suffer, what purpose does your anguish have? What lessons are there to learn? How can it benefit others with purpose, giving purpose and meaning to your walk, right? To serve or suffer, Virgo and Pisces. And so here we go. I am going to start with what sign? I'm going to start with Virgo. All right, here we go, Virgo. Here is the tarot reading for you. Victory. Okay, the Six of Fire comes out, the Six of Wands, which is Jupiter in Leo. I didn't even do the astrology talk yet, so I'll do that after. All right, a message for Virgo. Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, and Virgo Rising. Okay, so Virgo, here is a message for you, Virgo. It's important that you have to walk away from negative emotions that were rooted in your past failures. Okay, because when this popped out, it was, although it was showing this side, it was upside down to me, and then when I flipped it around, I flipped it this way. Okay, I am keeping it upside down for the moment because of the star card that came upside down in the third position, and this was the second position, was the Eight of Cups. Okay, so moving on emotionally from our past failures, not taking those with us any longer, because bringing that with you, bag lady, you gonna hurt your back, right? Dragging all them bags like that. We have this Capricorn energy that shows up. I asked Spirit silently why this was upside down, and so the card, that is even when the star card is upside down, it still indicates your wishes fulfilled, your dreams coming into fruition. But with it being upside down, there's some type of a delay, and it would really be all based on the emotions that we have to move past, right? because we can't take that into our future manifestations. We only want to take the practical lessons, but not the negativity, right? And we don't want to lose our dream, the higher vision, right? Throughout the process, right? So when I asked Spirit why that star card was upside down, the Chariot card in reverse came. Again, still a positive card, even in reverse. It is the Cancer sign, and the North Node is still in Cancer. All right. The next card that came up was that Mercury in Virgo card. Very positive, being right side up, and that is the Ten of Pentacles. And then we had the Devil card. Okay, so extremely interesting, being that Cancer and Capricorn are polar opposites, being that we have the North Node in Cancer, and we have this abundant energy right now in Capricorn, right? Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter and Mars all in Capricorn, and so there's this big focus in the structure, the we have our daily routines of Virgo, but then we have that Capricornic structure of the systems, and we have to have this fluidity. Really, why does corporate America fail so often, or why do people fall through the cracks of government, or any systems that are set up for our benefit, right? It's because there's no integration. There's no proper integration between the daily routines, or between the jobs of each individual system, versus how they operate collaboratively. And so this kind of looks like a dream deferred, but not for long. Okay. This deals with a slight mental shift that needs to happen really when we move past the emotional hiccups, right? We can gain a better balance between here and here. Don't be upset. Don't get upset if things take time. And sometimes in the midst of that time, it feels oppressive because we're so ready to move on physically, right? And yet we can't physically move on until we move on emotionally first, okay? And that is when we get that higher knowing, that insight that we need in order to actually make that dream tangible. Okay, so Virgo, here's the deal. Some emotional things you got to get through. Okay, and you need to find balance between when there's delays, don't be so hard on yourself. Gain the experience from the Capricorn energy that we're feeling right now, right? Get that mentorship that you need. Look to new systems and new ways, period. And don't dwell on past failures, because they are setting you up. They have set you up for your victories. Okay, I am love. I am peace is in reverse, and I am fire. Okay. Which is interesting. I am a higher perspective, cosmos, awakening and unity. Harmonic resolution, negativity, anger, and transmutation. Solar portal. being centered, balancing power, and manipulation. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that, Virgo. Again, this is all about balancing that power, even though sometimes that power seems to be, even when that power seems to be feel oppressive, or if you are being too oppressive or controlling, finding that balance between the nurturing aspect of growth and development, right? And hard, rigid structures. I am love. Keep your peace as you wait. Find your peace. Dwell on peace. Okay? Don't dwell on these failures, past failures. Don't dwell on the negative feelings that came from them. What does it feel like when you focus on this dream? When you really embrace it as if it's already here? If you ground yourself, you'll find that peace, and you'll be able to take the next action. When you tap into the love that's within you. Some of this is forgiving others that kind of screwed you over, or but also that helped you shift your perspective so you don't have to hold on to the emotional part anymore. You know, that I know that Aquarius, I know now. And so I don't have to hold on negatively. I can let that spark new insight and new plans into action, right? But you gotta get grounded in your center and find your peace, Virgo. I love you, Virgo. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle for the next card. I'm sorry, for the next zodiac sign, Libra. Okay, Libra, this one's for you. I'm just gonna get these back into the decks. And here we go. Shuffle once. Shuffle twice. All right. What is the full moon in Virgo message for Libra? What is the message for Libra? The Three of Pentacles, the Prince of Wands, and the Sun in reverse. Why is that in reverse? We have the Nine of Swords, we have the Princess of Pentacles, and we have the Four of Swords. Okay, so we have, this is the card of cooperation. That's awesome, Libra. Again, Mars is in Capricorn, and so we're taking action when it comes to legacy type stuff, right? Long-term goals and teamwork is represented there. Then we have the Prince of Fire, so more of that Mars energy being carried through something new that's sparking or on the verge of sparking here as we go finish off Pisces season, and then we'll head into Aries season, right? And so for the next couple weeks here, that's what's going on with you, Libra. Then we have the Sun in reverse, Okay, again, some things that this is a very positive card even in reverse, right? But sometimes it means that we need to kind of reevaluate our passions. It might mean that we need to get a little bit more creative. It might mean that something needs to be illuminated, right? And why was that in reverse? Here we have the 9. This is mental anxieties, personal shit, right? Carrying through that Mars energy again, right? Maybe ego that's involved. Maybe it's a mixed bag of bad and good experiences that makes you anxious. Then we have the Princess of Pentacles. So again, maybe anxiety is about being fresh and brand new in this endeavor, right? Maybe not knowing these people so well that you're involved with. So we have the action, the manifestation of, and then this is the building of as well with the Pentacles, right? Building upon, but it's there's some newness going on here for you. And then we have your Libra card that comes up too. So this deals with the Four of Swords is coming out of like this rest period. Plenty of thought about negotiations has been put into how we operate here. So you have all the settings here for success, really. Maybe just taking a little extra time to think things through a little further, particularly, especially since Mercury is still retrograde and then goes direct on the 10th, but we will be in its retrograde shadows. And so don't be in a rush. I am beautiful, I am vulnerable, and I am genuine, okay? And so that's where some of these anxieties come in from being vulnerable. Libra, you are the epitome of beauty, right? So it's important that you're also genuine, that you really understand who you are and what your role is and what you desire and what is the outcome that you're seeking with this collaboration with these people that you are working with. Libra, what house is this involving? Do you have Libra traveling through your 4th house of home? Is this more regarding family? Do you have Libra traveling through your 10th house? Is this more related to business, right? And we do have that Capricorn energy. So where through your chart is this teamwork needing to happen or in the midst of happening? And do you understand your value and the beauty that you bring to the situation? Make sure that you stay true to yourself. Make sure that you don't allow the anxieties, right? Allow yourself to be vulnerable while maintaining proper boundaries, okay? So that success will be ensured. Most definitely. You got this in the bag, Libra. Just like some of those anxieties. And don't be afraid to be vulnerable and open and genuine, because you are beautiful and you don't have to worry about people pleasing, because people are pleased with you and they care about your thoughts, your ideas, and how you feel. Okay, Libra, that reading was for you. And coming up next, let me pull actually one of these miracle cards, or what are these called? Magical Dimensions, Oracle cards and activators. Emergence. creation, resurrection, and magician, which makes perfect sense. Libra, something that you're working on with other people is emerging. And it's somewhat of a creative project because that sun card was involved as well. So congrats. And take your time. Don't rush. And here we go. The next reading is for Scorpio. Okay, we have the Prince of Cups in reverse, Scorpio, the Queen of Swords, the Two of Cups in reverse. Why is that Two of Cups in reverse? So far we've had 3 readings here with the 3rd card in reverse. Okay, Scorpio. I am peace came up again. I am forgiven and I am valuable. Yes, you are. I want to pull. Hey, Capricorn, how are you? I'm like just noticing there's comments. Magic prayer, that Piscean energy. Talisman in reverse. And the Bone Collector. Okay, so Scorpio. Here's the deal with you is that you need to redirect your focus as well. So the negative emotions, something that popped off. It was the Prince of Cups. So it was something that was fresh. It was a new feeling. It was a new emotion. It was maybe a new passion, maybe a new relationship. Scorpio, that comes into play because of that Two of Cups that is in reverse. That you had. You got your feelings hurt in the recent past, okay? And now you're thinking more logically, Scorpio. The Queen of Swords comes up, so it adds that water element of the emotions in there as well. And she's kind of like off with your head, but you're thinking a lot more logically at this point, right? Because you don't want to get your feelings hurt again, Scorpio. You are deep. And you are intense, all right? And so this card comes up as the Two of Cups, which again, in reverse, is not negative per se. But there's anxieties that came up, or there's some kind of betrayal or feelings of just being done wrong, that you're moving past now. That it seems like we're all dealing with lessons of the past, okay? Because the Bone Collector comes up, Scorpio, and this is dealing with lessons of the past. This is taking what benefits you, and letting go of what hurt you, right? Interestingly enough, I've never noticed this about the card, that the hands on this clock are pointing to 2 and 10. Okay, that is number one. We do have that Two of Cups here, but the second house in astrology is the house of value and worth. What is it worth to you? What were you able to carry with you of value? And then we have also the 10th house, which deals with capitalism and legacy, and the things that we value for long term, that stand the test of time, that go with us into our next lifetime, right? And get passed down to through generations. And so that's what you are actually have been breaking generational cycles, Scorpio. That's exactly what's been happening. And in order for you to not become hardened or harsh or too cold and intellectually driven, you do got to find that balance, Scorpio, by delving into that magic prayer, by tapping into your that sacred space where you get your spiritual intellect from, Scorpio. And that will help you to redirect your attention on what it is that you want to focus on. Create a talisman for yourself. Light a candle with intention and purpose on what it is that you desire. And this can also deal with a lot of self-love, being forgiving of yourself, the maturation of emotions, okay? From this Prince of Cups, from the past to the future. And you may have a masculine that resurfaces, before the retrograde, Mercury retrograde is over, or just within this next couple weeks, while Mercury will still be in the shadows of its retrograde. So somebody may be approaching you, Scorpio, with whom you've had some differences with. Okay, this is the card of principles, standing firm, standing your ground, right? Standing firm on your principles. This is Mars, the ego, oh look, I smeared in Leo, and taking leadership in love, right? With integrity, but standing firm on your principles. This card being in reverse, it's kind of like reevaluate what it is, right? Are you basing it off of negative emotions? Your principles, are they based off of negative emotions of the past, or are you basing your principles on the newness with that you are seeking to develop, right? With the lessons and the wisdom that you can now bring with you. So, my friends, my dear Scorpio friends, if a lover comes to play, if some kind of a partnership, whether it's someone close to you, a mother, a brother, a child, a lover, remember to keep your peace. Remember to forgive others and forgive yourself. And remember that you are valuable. And put more value on, and more focus on program something, whether it's a gemstone, to help you stay focused on the positive aspects of the magic, you know, that you are procreating in this moment through your matured feelings that have come out of this situation. Okay? I love you, Scorpio. I love my food. My food loves me. That's interesting. You are what you eat. Okay? Be careful about the words that you are swallowing at this time. Illusions of separation, disconnection, and isolation. So this is exiled, but it's an illusion. Okay? You are interconnected. Yeah, some kind of ending and new beginning is happening. Yeah, some messed up feelings occurred. Yeah, you kind of feel like you got done a little dirty. This was all for your development, Scorpio. So with that being said, let's move on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sag, here we go. A message for Sagittarius. For this Virgo full moon, a message for Sagittarius. The Hanged Man. So on the back side, it was in reverse. When I flipped it around, it was, oops, it was upside down. I mean, it was right side up, which have similar meanings anyways. That Prince of Cups came up again. And the Prince of Swords. Wow, that 10 of Swords came up. And the Knight of Swords. And then the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, Sag. You know, you don't like limitations and restrictions, and you're not really a huge fan of structure or routine. And you are going to feel the pinch of this one a little bit. Let me go ahead and pull these I am cards. This full moon energy might have you a little restless in your soul, Sagittarius. I am solar plexus. I am motivated in reverse, and I am unstoppable. The thing is, no matter what you do, Sag, you are powerful. And you are bound to cause a wave, cause a reaction. I am, Moonlight is in reverse, the Wizard of Awareness, right side up, and Solitude, okay? Solitude is that Virgo card, Sag. Really, I think you need to be in a place of reflection. This is not, the next couple of weeks is not a time for you to jump the gun or move too quickly. Sag, there's just like, there's things and decisions that you need to make. There's someone, people immaturity, bickering, some, you know, kind of dissension maybe gossip that's happening, just negativity that's being thrown around in these next couple weeks. That, you know, that I am motivated card is in reverse with that Hanged Man in reverse, and it's kind of like you're not really feeling motivated in the next couple weeks to really engage, or to really work with anybody, or to invest yourself, okay, in these next couple weeks. And that's okay, Sag, because this is a time for solitude. This is a time for you to, while Mercury is still in the going to be in the retrograde shadows, for you to be a wizard of awareness, to pay attention to details, to pay attention to people, to pay attention to inconsistencies, to pay attention to any red flags or any signs, to pay attention to any illusions and delusions that might be any false perceptions. You know, the picture might not be painted as honestly as it should be, okay? And the thing is, you can jump the gun and move in that direction because you are unstoppable, even though you might not feel necessarily very motivated in one particular direction or another. If you are not motivated in that area, honor that. However, work on your solar plexus, Sag. Get your creative juices flowing. Be more of on a brainstorm level. Tap into some ascended wisdom here. Don't move forward based on how you're feeling, you know. Don't move forward based on half information, half truths, unthorough thoughts. Okay, make sure that you're not doing anything out of a lack mentality, out of a poverty consciousness or any type of desperation. Make sure that you're not moving strictly based on reactions to disappointments. The Knight of Swords and the Prince of Swords, okay? Both come up. And pretty much those are very intricately tied in together. It's just a progression, okay? Details, contract information, like don't sign anything. Take your time for sure. Everything's not totally on the up and up. You need to spend some time alone. You need to do some studying. You need to look into the situation a little further before you commit. And don't jump into anything where you kind of feel like, oh, I have to do this because I have to do this now. If you're not motivated, you're not going to be motivated later either. Things will come up that will just kind of like, you know, be a thorn in your side. Okay, Sag? Take your time. I love you. Wait till the sun is in Aries before, and wait till the Mercury retrograde shadows are over. I surrender my desires and I know the universe has my back, okay? Don't do anything out of desperation, Sag. I love you. That being said, let's move on to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, what's going on with you in these next couple of weeks? What is the energy? What is the message for Capricorn? What is the Virgo full moon message for Capricorn? Virgo, what is a Virgo full moon message for Capricorn? The Knight of Cups, the Sun, and the Seven of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, Jupiter, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Magician. I love this. Okay, Cap. You got all this energy in your sign right now. We have Pluto and Saturn in the third decan of Capricorn right now. We have Jupiter. I'm not even sure what degree it's in. Let's see. Okay, so we have Jupiter at 21 degrees and Mars at 15 degrees. Pluto at 24 and Saturn at 28 degrees. So yep, Jupiter's in the third decan, or sorry, second decan. Which is interesting that Jupiter card is in reverse. And it's also interesting that all of three of these I am cards are in reverse as well. Okay. Capricorn, you really are a master alchemist as well. And so it's very important that you don't become too controlling. Peaks of Joy, Gentle Gardener in reverse. It's interesting it says Coming Apart in reverse as well. Okay, so here's what's going on with you, Capricorn. You are definitely in these next couple of weeks with the detail-oriented Virgo type stuff, getting these major downloads from Jupiter, the guru, right? About some practical systems that need to be set in place to simplify the order of things moving forward. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups, which is great. You know, something, this is positive emotional feelings. Again, depending on which house, it could be which house you have Capricorn going through. It could be related to love. It could be related to home and family. It could be related to spiritual things and pursuits. You know, it could be related to, you know, what else? I could go through how you feel about yourself, you know. So anyhow, but regardless of which house we're dealing with there, the Knight of Cups is positive, right? It's feeling good about something new that you just involved yourself in, that you're feeling sun energy, like you're feeling that light illuminating. And I love how, you know, that moon energy, water energy, and with the full moon being in Virgo, opposite the sun, right, is what makes the moon full. So we have this positive emotions about something that you're manifesting, something that you're bringing light to, something, an area of life that is being illuminated right now, an area of life where you are able to that you're pursuing success, that you're, maybe indulging in creativity, indulging in leadership, taking the reins on something new that you love, that you're actually bringing into fruition. Now, the Seven of Pentacles, he's kind of like, okay, in the next couple weeks to come, you might feel delayed. And it seems like that seems to be the theme for all of us here. But it's not delays for the sake of, problems, but it's delays for the sake of the ripening of the fruits. Okay. And then we have the Ten of Cups that comes up, or I'm sorry, the Ten of Pentacles. So this is dealing with long-term success. This is dealing with long-term investment. This is, financial security as well. Then we have a turn of events. Okay. So in the areas where you have lacked results, that is changing for the better. Okay. But be patient for that fruit to actually become ripe. We have the Alchemists, the Magician, Mercury, that comes into play here, and letting us know that, look, all the elements are just coming together, just how the seasons play their part in germination, in spring and in winter, in life and in death. That is what is happening. The elements are just coming together, and you need to be careful during this waiting period that you don't try to become overly controlling of the situation. I am power was in reverse. I am calm is in reverse. And I am simple. So pay attention to anything that during this next couple weeks, during this layover, be patient with yourself. Be patient with the development of your creation. Be patient with the success. Don't expect it to come instantaneously or overnight. And don't ruin it, right? Because the alchemist, it's like, it's very delicate. Alchemy is a very delicate situation. So when you try to make things happen too much of your own power, you can ruin that. You can disturb the organic process, okay, and end up complicating things. So keep it simple is a theme for you, Capricorn. I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them. Okay. New patterns are being created for this new path that you're taking. When I allow others to support me, I support them too. When in doubt, I play it out. Okay. So have fun with this alchemization process. Instead of trying to take control and to, try to manipulate with too much of your own self-power, play it out. Like a science experiment, working with all of the elements, taking a couple different approaches, hypothesizing, and see what works best for you, okay? Without complicating things too much and without getting frustrated with yourself and with others, Capricorn. That is your reading for the next 2 weeks for this and the message for you, Capricorn, with this full moon and Virgo energy. Next up, my friends, is Capricorn, and then it goes to Aquarius. Okay, what is the message for Aquarius? Message for Aquarius. The message for Aquarius. The Aquarius card came up, that star card. That's pretty dope. The Knight of Swords comes up first in reverse. To me, that even means misinformation. Okay, Aquarius, you might be dealing with some harsh energy in the next couple weeks. Somebody that's like dominating. But you can't negate them. They are part of your long-term vision. They are a piece of the puzzle or along the journey of your path, or of your purpose, I should say. Sanctuary, healing and comfort, faith and restoration. So detachment is will suit you well, will serve you well. In the next couple weeks, emotional detachment will serve you well, Aquarius. This is a time for healing, and this is a healing and comfort. The moment I begin to celebrate myself and focus on my success is the moment I begin living, okay? So the song has, and the last time I did a video was, I think, in January, and you are my favorite place, you are my sacred space. That was a song by India Ari that had come up for me, and I am my sacred space, or my favorite place, and I am my sacred space, and when I focus on my own nourishment, when I focus on my own development, when I focus on how far I've come, I can really lather myself with love, right? I can really celebrate the accomplishments that have occurred throughout along the way, even in the midst of some discomforts, even in the midst of some wounds, even in the midst of some adversities. Aquarius, keep your mind focused on your successes in the next couple of weeks. Don't allow the tediousness, right, of some of that Virgo full moon energy to knock you down mentally, or emotionally. When I focus on my successes is the moment that I begin living. Okay, so breathe new life into your situation, Aquarius, in the next couple of weeks. The cards that came up were the Spade of the Knight of Swords, the Star card. So it's like you're gonna shine through this regardless. And then we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. And when I asked for clarifiers on that, we have the Emperor in reverse, more fire, and then followed by more fire, which is the Prince of Wands. Okay, this is Capricorn energy. So retreat, sanctuary, healing and comfort, faith and restoration. In the next couple of weeks, you will want to retreat. Don't engage in any, disengage, detach from any negative energy, any fire balls that are thrown at you. Don't spit them back out. Don't allow them to burn you, to make you feel like you got burned in the situation. But just take the time to heal and restore yourself so that you can restore that dream, and so that you can restore that vision, so you can get reconnected with your higher self and focus on all of the successes that you've come to up to this point, Aquarius. Those successes are not lost to you. You are simply continuing to build upon them, and you're going to walk through the fire on this one. You come out shining like that Star card, my friends. Like, this is you in the midst of all of this. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else I can pull. I don't have any IM cards pulled here, so let's do that. Here's your mantra, Aquarius, for the next couple of weeks here. I am compassionate. I am light in reverse. I am love. Okay. So you need to tap into your inner light. What is it that tap into what it is that makes you remember how you shine, that reminds you of the light that you bring. I am compassionate and I am love. Stay in that place, stay in that vibration. And I love you, Aquarius. Next up is Pisces, my polar opposite. So here we go, Pisces. This one is for you. Oops. I totally missed. It didn't even touch each other. But since that happened, I have two more cards here that I need to add into the deck. Okay, Pisces. What is the message for Pisces? What is the message for Pisces? What is the message for Pisces? Magician card comes up again. We have the Empress in reverse. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. We have the Magician. Then we have the Eight of the Eight of Wands, the Prince of Swords, and Judgment in reverse. Interesting. Okay. Again, this reading is for Pisces if you're just tuning in. Message for Pisces. Galactic Guardian, star family, assistance, and cooperation. Pisces, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lack of clarity. There's, needing to narrow down, needing to ground. Whenever I compare myself to others, I simply say this prayer. The light I see in them is a reflection of my inner light. I can change my pattern when I change my mind about them. The last reading got that card too. The Capricorn got that. That's weird. I love my food. My food loves me. That came up also in a different reading. You are what you eat. Okay, Empress in reverse. So you have that fertility, that you have that resource there, you have that intuition there, but you're missing it. You're not tapping into it. Dreams and options and comparing yourself to others, right? Like where should I go? Which direction, which path should I choose? Comes up there. And then the alchemy card, the magician. Something moving forward rapidly with this Mercury, continuing that Mercury energy in Sagittarius with the Eight of Wands. So something is moving forth rapidly. But I think it's interesting that this came up in reverse. The Prince of Wands, and so there's some something that doesn't quite jive, maybe that's something that's kind of lacking integrity, a detail that has been missed here, and the Judgment card comes in reverse. So I think something either needs to be reconciled, okay, with other people, or reconciled within yourself, conclusions that you need to come to, and you may be able to narrow down by seeking your elders, by having discussions with people that you love and trust, people who have walked in your footsteps. Galactic family, assistance, and cooperation. Okay. So Pisces, your feelings are kind of all over the place right now. And remember, like we talked about you are what you eat. So that your health and wellness, right? When it comes to your polar opposite Virgo, and what it is, whether it comes from your thoughts, the emotions, or the actual food that you eat. Whenever I compare myself to others, I simply say this prayer. The light I see in them is a reflection of my inner light. You can change your patterns, but when you change what your mind about them, and I love my food loves me. Think and eat nutritiously in these next days to come. Seek out information that will feed you holistically, Pisces, in these next few weeks. You might be starting something new, or something may be transpiring with a quickness in these next coming weeks. However, take your time evaluating, okay? To see where and how you need to alchemize, where some tweaks need to be made, because you are likely to come into a couple little hiccups, okay? So that's the reading for Pisces for the next couple weeks. And take your time to look at, you know, the reality of the situation and how you contribute to it, okay? And the valuable role that you play as well. Okay, that was Pisces, and next we have Aries. A message for Aries, please. A message for Aries, please. A formal message for Aries. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Two of Pentacles reversed, Jupiter in reverse. Then we have the Virgo card, of course. And then we have Temperance in reverse. And then we have the Princess of Swords in reverse. Okay, Aries, this is kind of similar to Sag. And similar to all the readings, really, with Mercury still being retrograde, turning direct on the 10th, and then going, traveling through its shadow. Which again is a reminder, particularly with Mercury being in Pisces, which is a watery, dreamy, unclear energy, you know, sign. And it's not really, it's the time to evaluate the decisions that you need to make, right? With the direction or the choices, you know, it's either, maybe it's two different jobs, you know, that are at hand. Maybe it's the hours that you want to work the shift. Maybe it's two different businesses that you would potentially invest in, or two different stocks. Maybe it's, you know, these are the things that you're evaluating this week, these next couple of weeks, in regard with this Virgo moon energy. When I honor my feelings, I find my power in powerless situations. I share my light with the world. I release my need to be perfect, and I center into my commitment to serve the world more love. I'm root portal, so vitality, stability, and survival. Fear, survival, fearful. So perhaps you may be an option on the table. Perhaps you are being evaluated for a promotion, you and somebody else, you know, or for a job, or for I don't really see a lover's situation playing out here. There's no water. Rock bottom. Okay. This makes a lot of sense. Rock bottom, we have the root chakra. We're dealing with your vitality. We're dealing with stability. We're dealing with survival instinct. We're dealing with feeling powerless, in certain situations. Somebody is making a decision about you, Aries, and it might make you feel a little isolated, and it's okay to go inward, okay? Because that Virgo card comes into play here. Let me show these cards. That was the Knight of Pentacles. This is the Two of Pentacles. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Again, that Virgo card came up. Temperance in reverse. And then the Princess of Swords in reverse, okay, and rock bottom. Aries, I love you, and I want you to know that the universe always has your back. Regardless of how circumstances look in the moment. I am patient. Okay, coincides with that Temperance card in reverse. Don't throw a fit. Don't have that instantaneous defensive reaction. I am unstoppable. I am light is in reverse, okay? And what did it say? I share my light with the world, okay? So here's the deal. I release my need to be perfect, and I center into my commitment to serve the world more love. You may make a mistake, okay, in the next couple weeks, and you may get called out on it. It might be something that you feel is petty. It might be something that you feel is unfair. It might be something that makes you feel insecure or self-conscious or makes you feel defensive, because it causes you to feel like it might affect your stability. It might make you fear, okay, that what is the opposite again? The Pisces season, the opposite of Virgo, is what about in your routines? Have you developed a negative habit that maybe would not fly with your supervisor, or maybe just doesn't jive in the corporate world where everybody needs to be on their game? It might make you feel like at your wit's end. It might make you feel like, do I ever do anything right? It might make you feel like, will anything go right for me? Or when will things go right for me? But it's a time for introspection, Aries. It's a time to draw from within, and just have patience, because you really are an unstoppable force. And sometimes we need to be derailed, or sometimes we need to be called out, so that we can, when we're slightly off the beaten road, or the beaten path, when we're slightly off in and veering in the wrong direction, we need to be redirected, right? And so have faith in yourself, okay? And try to remember that rather than, when you humble yourself, rather than being defensive, you can share more love with the world, and you can operate in your light, okay? I love you, Aries. That was your reading for the next couple weeks here for the full moon and Virgo energy. Next up, we have Taurus. Where are my Tauruses at? Hi, Tyrant. With the dealio, yo. With the dealio, yo. So here's the reading for Taurus for the full moon in Virgo and for the next couple of weeks. All right. Okay. Just putting some of these other cards back. Here we go. This is for Taurus. Message for Taurus, please. A full moon message for Taurus. Princess of Chalice, the Eight of Swords, the Emperor. This seems like a lover situation for me. To me, I should say. Taurus. I am fertile is in reverse. I am abundant in reverse. I am surrender. Okay, Taurus. Just as in that Seven of Pentacles energy, although I did not pull that card. It's all about what? Waiting for the fruit to ripen, right? Waiting for the process, okay? And so we have to surrender to the process. Spirit of place. Golden Palace. So spirit of place is, where are you spiritually in the midst of this anxiety that you may be feeling? The Golden Palace deals with the natural resources that are at your disposal all around you, that you have access to abundantly, right? And interestingly enough, the lack of acknowledgement of this abundance, you know, not realizing how fertile you are. The Princess of Chalice of Cups is definitely dealing with some fertility as well. And what is it that you are birthing? Okay, your fearful thoughts. Protecting treasures. This deals with those fearful thoughts too. Reevaluating what it is that you value, what it is that you treasure, Taurus. So, they say home is where the heart is, or your treasures are where the heart is, right? And so make sure that in your heart, you are not giving more value to your fears than you are to that which you desire to create. Solar portal comes up, being centered, balancing power and manipulation. Surrender. In the next couple weeks, Taurus, surrender is the theme. You are going to be stepping out there and experiencing something new, or at least you should be, but you may be fearful to step into that newness, to experience this new love, this new work partnership. When in doubt, I choose to see peace. The key to getting what I want is to ask for it. When I honor my feelings, I find my power in powerless situations. Makes sense? And that card came up as well for another reading. Okay. So this is very indicative of you just kind of feeling inexperienced, kind of new to this situation. That comes, these are clarifier cards for this Emperor. You might be feeling dominated, Taurus, in the next couple weeks. The Four of Spades comes up in reverse. This is Jupiter and Libra. This is, the need to, or coming out of, or let's just say currently you're kind of in this retreat mode. Currently you're in this rest period, but and because you're dealing with some of these fears and anxieties, and so you have to kind of find this balance between surrendering and understanding your power, right? Just by being, your presence alone is powerful, right? The being centered makes you powerful, Taurus. And being centered, produces that fertility and that abundance that you want to see out of this situation. But we're definitely dealing with, what are you protecting? Is it your heart? Is it your investments? Is it, your love? So again, you might feel triggered in these next couple of weeks, Taurus, and definitely honor those feelings, okay? But make sure also that you honor the spirit of place that you desire to be in. Make sure that you honor the abundance at your feet, beyond the limitations of the fears. And be intentional about tapping into your strength that is rooted in love. Okay? That is the message for Taurus. Remember, when I doubt, I choose peace. Next, we have Cancer. Okay. It's getting dark. I see the light is getting dimmer. Okay, so here we go. What is the message for Cancer? What is the message for Cancer? Message for Cancer, please. Okay, the Two of Swords, the Seven of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Fire in reverse. Then we have the Four of Pentacles. Then we have the Hanged Man in reverse and the Eight of, what do you call that? Swords. I mean, not swords. Wands. I'm just putting a few of these cards back here from the previous reading so I can pull some more for Cancer. We're almost there, Cancer, and then we have Leo. And I'll be done, which is good because it's getting dark. Okay, Cancer, right away, I see that there might be some disillusionment that happens that you might end up feeling some sort of way about, or potentially somebody else might end up feeling guarded because perhaps they were disillusioned. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords that comes up, dealing with communications, dealing with contractual agreements, dealing with partnerships, dealing with negotiations in general, and potentially broken negotiations that need to be reassessed and reevaluated. The Seven of Cups talks about needing to narrow down the dream. Okay, so we are needing to we're more in that Piscean energy. Cancer Sun does trine. So Cancer in general, if you have Moon in Cancer or rising, Cancer does trine. That water element of Pisces, which is the opposite on the opposite axis of this full moon in Virgo. And so, this looks like really some of those details needing to be renegotiated, and also needing to summarize the vision, summarize the plan, summarize the dream, summarize the desire, up and coming here with some of those illusions around the cloudiness and the fog that is surrounding this dream, this passion, this pursuit. I have a feeling that this is business related. I am throat. Okay, communications need to happen. It's in reverse. I am brilliant. It's in reverse. And I am fire. Okay. So I see here kind of not really tapping into how do you fit in, what is the role that you play here? What value do you bring to the table? Or what about the person that you're negotiating with? What is the role that they really play? Like, is that clear to you right now? Because I see that there, you've got the Hangman in reverse. There's things not quite um, on the same page right now, right? We have as a clarifier to the Queen of Fire in reverse, we have the Four of Pentacles, which deals with kind of greediness, protective of your own investments, protective of your own um, things that you have accumulated, your own successes, you know, protective of your business, protective of your entity, right? And then we have the Hangman, protective of your money, protective of your time. And then we have the Eight of something is moving forward here, but maybe just a little bit too quickly, okay? Or just on the wrong vibration in general. Excuse me. It's really important that you speak up, okay? Speak up about any confusion that you might be feeling. Speak up about any lack of clarity that you even have, not just about the situation or the compromise or the negotiation, but any lack of clarity that you have even about your own role, you know, or the role that you want to play, or how committed you want to be in one particular area or another. It's extremely important that you speak up right now. And because when you talk things through, say brainstorm or write it down, okay? Even before you have any conversations with anybody else that might cause them to be on guard as well, okay? What do you do when you're writing a story? You brainstorm scenes, scenarios, situations. You brainstorm different character roles, you know, and what character role do you play? It's important to write down your ideas, okay? These ideas, many ideas, write them all down so that you can even speak them out loud to yourself, and so that you can see, so that you can decide, you can evaluate what sparks your fire the most. In what area do you actually feel more passionate? You know, make sure so that you can shine, so that you can actually feel brilliant, so that you can not just be doing something for the sake of doing, but not really clear, like, why am I doing this? What is the purpose? It doesn't help or serve anyone. It puts everybody on guard. So I would say, yes, that there might be some power struggles going on here too. And so it is important to even be not defensive, but somewhat on guard, you know, to know what your boundaries are, to know what other people's boundaries are. Cancer. Because you don't want to move forward too hastily, without a solid footing, okay? Cancer, emergence, creation, resurrection, and magician. Okay? Reemergence, things are coming to life. But don't be in a rush because there's some clarity that you still need to gain. This is the third reading that I got. I love my food. My food loves me. You know, and you know, this might even, Cancer, have to do with your gut for sure. I mean, and of course, you know, the health habits of Virgo in the 6th house. You know, that is going to a clear gut, a cleansed gut is a cleansed mind. I dish out compliments sincerely and liberally. That's interesting. Oops. My positive energy leaves a powerful impression on the world. Okay. Sometimes I lose where I put these cards. I'm like, where are they? Oh, right here. Solitude. Which is the Virgo card, and it has come up. And protecting treasure. Interesting. That just came up too. Okay, Cancer. So here's the deal with you. It's really important that you stay positive, even through in these next couple weeks, even through your lack of clarity, even if you feel like somebody's not cooperating, there's not an equal give and take, even if you feel like somebody's holding back or you feel like you should be holding back, just remember that you are brilliant. Therefore, stay positive, right? And as things take time to develop, just don't get stuck in fear mode. Don't get stuck in negativity. Remember to nurture yourself both physically, right, with nutrients as well as with positive words. Give compliments liberally and you will receive them as well. Project what it is that you love in the world, okay? Speak on those things. And that will leave a powerful impression upon this person that you may be dealing with, that you may be negotiating with, that you may be investing with, you know, whether it's time, energy, money, you know, something that it is that you're creating potentially together, okay? The protecting treasures comes up with the 4 of Pentacles, and I mean, which pretty much they go hand in hand. They have that same kind of meaning. So decide what is more valuable to you, and make sure, or what is most valuable to you, and make sure that you speak on that. Make sure that you don't neglect to speak on those things because it needs to be brought up within the negotiations. And then other people will also see your light and will also see your value. And you'll see how slowly but surely, even if things kind of seem like they've taken a backwards turn, or things, you know, you might feel like a hiccup has occurred. You know, things are slowly emerging, and you are in the process of creation. So don't judge that process. And I love you, Cancer. Gonna go ahead and move on then to Leo. What up, Leo? What the dealio, yo? Okay, a message for Leo. Message for Leo, please. Message for Leo. Collective message for Leo. The Four of Cups reversed, the Three of Wands reversed, the Ten of Pentacles, the Devil, the One of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, Leo, new things are manifesting for you here. I see that clearly. Definitely some changes that that are going to change the way that you operate, okay? You know how they say if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, work with a team or go with someone else, you know, do it together. It's kind of like that. So you're manifesting something new, Leo, that it's gonna take some practice. So you're kind of moving forward, letting go of the rut that you were stuck in. With that Four of Cups in reversed, and that is the Moon in Cancer. And then we have the Three of Wands in reverse, which deals with, you know, what are the action steps that are next here, that are needing to in order to move forward in this realm of passion, you know, something that you're passionate about, that you care about, something that is tied into your identity, you know, who you are. And once you make these steps, or once you make this decision on what your next steps are to be, the up and coming is that Virgo energy, the Ten of Pentacles, Mercury in Virgo, which is all about abundance and love and a happy family, security for the long haul, right? So, as additional information for that Ten of Pentacles, and that's why I said some changes are happening, where it's like, okay, in certain regards, you might feel some limitations, but for the long longevity of things, the Capricorn type of longevity, Capricornic energy, it's foundational, right? These changes, and you're manifesting something new, something different from this past rut, where it's like you were unfulfilled with the old manifestations, you were unfulfilled with the old patterns, you know, and your old feelings that continue to come up. And so you're kind of dealing with that, you know. Maybe there's some disciplining of your own mind that had to occur there, And part of that is in this space where you're evaluating what those disciplines are, what those action steps are, in order to come to this place, which is coming around the corner. You know, within these next couple of weeks here, you're gonna manifest something really beautiful and new that you're gonna be putting into practice. Okay, Sun and Virgo energy. So a lot of earth comes up here for you with the 10 and the 8 of Pentacles, with you know, that devil card, and also with the 1 of Ace of Pentacles. Did I say Ace? Yeah, the Ace and the 8. Oh, okay. Making a choice comes here. Funny enough, it's card number 30. Kind of at that crossroads, Leo. Like, what do you really love? What do you really want to go for? Follow the leader. Take the initiative, Leo. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid of, you know, of being oppressed, because staying in that same emotional state is what's causing your oppression right now. And it's also what is inhibiting the spark that you want, that you desire so much. So as soon as these decisions get made, as soon as you take the lead, that spark, that newness, that new manifestation, not just the spark of your spirit, but you'll see things change, you know, all around you. Yeah, there's snakes on the ground, you know. Yeah, there's always going to be fears to address. But you got this, Leo. Rescue comes up, which is interesting. Majestic eminence, priestess, divine feminine, and worth. So understand the value that you bring to the table. Understand that you are not here to save anybody, nor is anybody here to save you. Create new patterns that are no longer based on codependence, okay? Rather, interdependence. I was going to say interdependence and love. And what comes up is I begin my day with love. I'm ready to receive love, Leo. You are worthy of receiving love. You are worthy of being loved. I can release ancient pain simply by feeling it. And what is this? Feeling, right? Feelings of dissatisfaction. What is this? Releasing feelings of oppression, right? Particularly dealing with relating around relationships. I can release ancient pain I love that. That's old shit, man. Simply by feeling it. If you feel it, you can release it. But if you ignore it, it's still going to be operating in your subconscious. You know, Virgo wants to bring all the flaws and the details up to the surface. We want to analyze and evaluate all of it. We don't want it to remain hidden, you know, in that realm of unconscious Pisces. I make time to recharge my battery. The world needs my energetic light. Okay? So, let me pick my I am cards for you guys. And we'll wrap it up. And this is your mantra for the next couple weeks, Leo. I am the sun. I am life and vitality, right? I am Leo. I am pieces in reverse. So, if you choose to just be present, just be in the moment, you can maintain your peace, right? Instead of being stuck in the pain of the past. And I am kind. Okay, so don't lash out with defensiveness. Don't feel rushed, but don't delay to make a couple new choices in a couple new directions, you know? And I am success. Okay, you got this, Leo. So with that being said, I don't know if I want to wrap up. This is getting long. This video is getting long. And it's getting dark in here. This Virgo full moon is opposing the sun. We've talked a lot about this energy already. What I do want to say is that it's trining Capricorn. It's trining Mars. It's trining, the moon is trining Jupiter. Jupiter. The moon is trining both Pluto and Saturn. And then all of that energy is also sextiling. The Capricorn energy is not only trining the Virgo moon, but it's sextiling Pisces, the sun and Neptune in Pisces, okay? So this is extremely supportive for changes, right? For preparations, for new schedules, for new structures that are based upon our unconscious desires to serve, oftentimes healing our suffering in a way that heals our sufferings, right? To serve or to suffer. This is a time where, you know, how we feel about our daily routines, about the daily routines that we set in place, will affect our success when it comes to the fulfillment of our dreams, right? all this Capricorn energy brings wisdom. It brings initiative. It brings action, right? But right now we're taking action in the revision of our plans and our routines, and how we structure those around what we love. Okay. Because this Capricorn energy is roughly squaring Taurus, both Uranus and Venus, right? In Taurus, it's extremely important, okay, that we are not I'll say that we are clear about what it is that we really value, even what it is that we like, okay, and what it is that we're willing to commit ourselves to, what's worth it for you, okay. That Taurus energy is sextiling Mercury in Aquarius loosely. So it's sextiling that Mercury retrograde, which, lets you know, and it's going to be going back into Pisces. So lets you know that this is not really the time. We're still evaluating for the next couple of weeks. We are still evaluating, and we are putting some things into practice, but not necessarily making them concrete, for the next couple of weeks, until that the Aries sun energy really starts to come into play. Okay. Black moon Lilith is also in Aries, conjuncting Chiron, and we really are sorting a lot of our deepest, darkest fears, that have in the past inhibited us from pursuing our unconscious desires, and that have limited us in so many ways. So I think that's all I have to say about that. At the end of the day, the North Node is still in Cancer. And so we are, regardless of how much energy is in Capricorn, we are still utilizing that energy not to conflict with our destiny, with our purpose of following our gut and following our intuition, and meditating on our legacy, meditating on long-term goals, everything that is Cancer related and opposed to Capricorn. And yet Capricorn is there right now to support, not to oppose, but to support the North Node collective destiny that we are currently in, right? We're still honoring that before the North Node goes into Gemini. So stay true to your feelings. stay true to your feelings and stay true to your intuition. Don't allow all of this earth energy to pull you out of that, but use all of this earth energy to support the freedom, right, that you need to really nurture yourself, to really nurture your children, to really nurture your family, to really nurture your home. In that regard, make sure that that is continues to be your priority until the North Node shifts. Okay. Until next time, my friends. No, and peace be unto you.